So we promised you we'll finish by 5:30, and we intend to keep our promise. So this is the end of the annual INSS conference, the 17th one, but I don't think that we ever wonder whether to actually have the conference. So we have concerns whether people are actually available to listen to these discussions. And we thought about what can we say that will be effective. And at the end we say that one of the roles of the Institute is not to avoid challenges and to make sure that there is in-depth discussion about strategic matters. So I will try to conclude. Um, and I'm going to ask you, what are your takeaways from this conference? What actually changed? Maybe some change of perspective. Manuel, let me ask you first. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate all of you who stayed this late. It's not easy, so really well done. And you said that it's your third conference ever since you joined us, and it's also my third conference. And the first time there was a conference, it was just after COVID, so it was a minimal conference. There were almost no people in the audience, and the second conference was under the shadow of the judicial reform, and then again it was not simple, and there were demonstrations outside, and we didn't know whether it will actually happen and who's going to come and who's not going to attend. And this time there's war going on, and you ask yourselves, you wonder whether we will ever be a normal country. But anyway, I think that it's very, very important. There is something that I learned after being here for 3 years. We are an exceptional country, and we must have these conferences, as we must have the Israel Prize and any other occasion which is important, and we should not let the situation or different incidents to intimidate us. So that's what I wanted to say first. And secondly, you asked me whether I learned something new or what are my takeaways. So let me tell you what my takeaways are. Two things. First of all, you heard people here, not from the Institute, you know us, but good people, and are so dedicated, and they want to do good for the state of Israel. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much hope here, because there are so many people, women, men, who actually, we see them as reservists, as volunteers. They try to help any way they can. So that's why I feel very optimistic. And the last point that I want to make, it repeated itself throughout the conference. So if there is one thing that worked well for the state of Israel in recent years, is its initiative. It's actually being passive. We've seen lack of initiative. We've been passive at the military level and the diplomatic level. Enough is enough. We need to dare. We need to look into the future. We need to have a vision. We need to look at the compass, everything that brought about the establishment of the state. So this is what we should focus on, and we will definitely intend to do that. So it's very hard to define learning based on conferences, because learning is a very in-depth process that includes undermining basic assumptions. And I want to say one thing that was unique to this conference: excitement. I'm not excited in conferences. I don't find them exciting. But ever since we saw when you granted the awards to the reservists, I was moved. Maybe it's because of my background, and maybe I'm a bit sentimental when it comes to reservists and sacrifice. I look at these people, and then I felt moved by it. And in terms of learning, we did not coordinate the contents. I swear, those of you who are still here, I promise you, we did not coordinate the content. And it seems that everybody used the same tune here. It's as if everybody sees this strategy, exit strategy, as Gadi said here. And it said the right thing. Victory doesn't only mean obtaining the objectives as they were defined, but improving the security reality for the long run. And when you see, when you actually touch the basic concept of regional architecture, alliance between Saudi Arabia and US and Israel, normalization that opens up to the Arab world to have ties with Israel, the possibility of replacing Hamas regime. We've been hoping for that for many years, and at the same time, we can actually heal and improve the PA so that they will be able to replace Hamas. And this starting point is bringing back the hostages and the ceasefire, and all of this actually is actually means that we are struggling with Iran, and let me add Russia and China to it. It's huge and it's here. And then you say, wait, it's too big. These are probably dreams that will never be fulfilled. But then you see, vis-a-vis all these, the difficulties, which we've discussed a lot today. And now we need to choose, to make a choice, if it's important enough, and if we truly believe that we are very strong. That's it. That's all it takes. The solution is right here. You know where you want to go. You know what you have. You understand the risks, and that's it. That's all it takes. We are capable of doing it, and I think that it demonstrates the main message that we were trying to convey. So just short remarks. Tamir is not moved frequently, so I'm so moved by the fact that you were moved. And secondly, you talked about China and Russia, and this is an opportunity to tell the audience we talked a lot about a lot of things today, but it doesn't cover all the areas we research at the institute. So we do investigate China and Russia that unfortunately we couldn't speak about them today. And maybe I want to ask you, let me ask you, in light of what you've said about this conference, about the very problematic situation of the State of Israel, what is the role of the INSS today? Tamir, let's start with you this time. Well, as many many people from the security community share the disappointment from the leaders, whoever wants to be people inside the system. They have these questions. What have you done? Where were you? But as a commander, you don't have the privilege to give up. And we, if we truly believe that we want what's best for the State of Israel, our role is to be better. Our role is to actually understand what's the right thing to do. You know, the first rule, they tell a commander, don't think about the encounter, think about the enemy. If you think about why it happened to you, how come I was surprised, you'll die. But if you think about the next moves, you'll manage to survive. And it's true for the State of Israel, it's true for the INSS, and it's true for any of us at the personal level. taking these energies and looking into the future, hopeful, and actually think about the future, we should do that. And let me tell you one more thing. There weren't, we never gave room to to many opinions. We tried to. I'll be very honest with you. I actually tried very hard and I almost begged in order to bring here different opinions, authentic opinions. I couldn't make it work. Yeah, I can testify that this indeed this is what he was trying to do, but we have to learn a lesson because if we want to be good, we need to bring the other voices. It's important. Friction is important. It creates a better understanding, and we won't despair. We won't be. We will force ourselves to bring the other opinions and to understand it better because this is the only way we can truly succeed. By the way, Itzik could represent a different opinion, my brother-in-law, but he is the only one left. So I would think that the only remaining people are from your family. Yes. So let me say the following. There is a gap, a huge gap between today, what we've heard today, and the state of mind of the general public in Israel, or what the public is exposed to. And public, I don't like to make generalizations because there is no single public, but in principle, because the state of Israel is under this trauma of October 7th, then it's very hard, really, to differentiate between this trauma and the prediction of the future, as we were trying to predict today. One of the main roles of the INSS is to mediate it, to serve as a mediator, to try and to communicate those complexities that we are witnessing as part of the analysis we discussed today. But again, these are complexities that are very clear to us because there is clarity here, clarity of thinking, and we need to take it outside. This is very essential so that the state of Israel will be able to pick itself up from this hole and march forward. And I see it as a mission, a very important mission of the INSS. And I'd like to say that I'm pretty sure that it will happen for a very simple reason, because we announced that I'm going to end my role as the head of the INSS in a few weeks on the 1st of May, and Tamir will be the head. And I'd like to tell you honestly that it's such a pleasure for me. You fulfill a role, and then it's such a pleasure to know that you brought the organization to this point, and then you give it away to the very best people. And you, Tamir, said you were moved earlier, and I'm moved now because you're the right man at the right time to do it. And I'd like to wish you the best of luck. And your success is our success. And it's also my personal success to be able to witness it and see it happening. And I've been asked very frequently, including today, what will you do? What will you do on the day after? So let me just tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so committed to the state of Israel. I'm staying here. Thank you very much.